And we are back.
True, timer started. I was here for the whole thing.
So...
We last left off trying to figure out where to S to go.
I jumped off of this for some reason. I think it's because at the very last second I could see that there was like a space back here. And I was wondering if there was like a thing.
Want to search for equipments to put in our van?
Mm-hmm.
That
No
mushroom head
such
bullshit.
that mushroom head bullshit.
Look at them pretty folks getting murrayed on that wall.
How sweet.
Now I just want Reese's Puffs.
I don't actually really like Reese's Puffs.
Never had them.
I think they're...
Do they still make them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't you remember when we went to like Costco or whatever? Like, I made you take my photo in front of those like pallets of Reese's Puffs.
Yeah. Old.
I've never seen a mall with shutters like that. They always look like a fence.
Yeah, or like the glass ones. Or I guess they're plastic. But it's like the sideways railing, and then it's see-through glass in between it.
Yeah.
So you can't like poke a finger in there.
Now, why is all this stuff here when it wasn't here before?
Because these dudes died here recently, but not before.
Fine, Mitchell.
I'm sorry, I'll stop logicking.
I hear the fucking horse behind you. Help me get this open. Yeah, we'll get the door. You got this first. I don't want to get in.
I bet you don't. Event. Your wants are not warranted.
Voodoo.
I gotta do something. Fast.
You know what? I've been saving this shit the whole damn game.
Fucking door!
Oh, what is this behind me?
Ugh. I'm dead! Oh, you fell right on the, like, scissor bullshit. Someone's spotting you. Joel doesn't strike me as an old man. He strikes me as like a mid-40s man in exceptional shape.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe he's old if you're a 20-something ruffian.
Gaddy. Whoa. I wouldn't have even known that was there.
Hold still.
Whoa. Where is that coming from?
The guy's still alive behind you. Nice. Stick him. Stick him good.
Remind me I have to tell my Shiv story.
Healing's not a bad idea.
I don't have one.
You can hold the craft real quick. Like press up and then X.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
It's good to know.
I was like, oh shit, there he... Oh, never mind. That's the main arcane.
Whoa! He saw me pretty quick. Oh, I like how there's a big health right there.
And a couple of bullets. Can you imagine trying to put 2 bullets into, like, a cartridge, like, right there? Or a clip. I can never remember the correct syntax for that.
Magazine.
Magazine.
Right here!
The cartridge are the actual bullets, right?
Yep.
Putting 2 cartridges into a magazine. The arrow appeared to fly true. Yep.
Hold this.
see that shit curve in the air?
I got you.
Moided. You killed him until he died from it.
I did indeed. Now, where is this last guy?
Ah. Pretty sneaky, sis. What is that from?
I don't know.
Okay. I got you. Where? There. Diagonally. Pretty sneaky, sis. Wait, did he throw a Molotov?
Yep. Well, we've cleared out the guys.
Joel, I murdered 10 men for you.
Now, I feel compelled to look around for stuff, even though it's clear we're not going to ever be upgrading our equipment, and that I have tons and tons of junk.
Your mom gets tons of junk.
That's true. Well, that's where I learned it.
That's fair.
Hi, Mom.
You.
I love you.
I love you too, Teresa. Would you like to tell the internet the funny story about the time I ran into your mom?
Yes. So, we were walking into Walmart, and there was like a long row of displays of stuff, and probably 40 feet away was a bent-over woman where her upper half was obscured by this stuff, and her behind was hanging out. And as we were walking up, like 40, 50 feet away, Mitchell was like, "Hey, your mom's here." And it was my mom. He recognized her from her ass only from like 50 feet away.
Also, I can't see very well far away.
I'm pretty sure that was the exact same day that you like fell down. But it was like if a ballet dancer fell down.
When you're my size, you gotta learn how to fall. Because if you just fall hard, something's getting hurt. Yeah, it was like the 17-step controlled fall.
Mm-hmm.
I like slipped at Walmart and it was like, and then just gently laid myself upon the ground.
It was pretty beautiful. Of course. I'm glad I picked up all that stuff, right?
Finish her.
I'm gonna run over here.
Fine. You wanna do
Catch
this?
me outside.
Let's do this.
How about that? You know when I knew I was really out of like a cool loop? When like a 45-year-old woman at work told me what that was.
Well, catch me outside?
Yeah. I had no idea what
Well,
that was.
in your defense, it was on Dr. Phil. That's kind of an old person show.
Fair. But I had no idea. I just kept seeing that written on like funny internet websites. It would say cash as in money, me
Yeah.
outside, how, bat, B-A-H, dad, D-A-H. And I was like, what is this? What does that mean? Why do people keep talking about cash and then howling at me? Like some kind of monkey. Oh shit, get away. I think if anyone walks over it, then that was well. Best to leave it and let it do its work. I think you can pick it back up. Oh. Nice.
Daddy.
Got you.
Where are they? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
I think it's the game's way of trying to say that there are ghosts in Ellie's blood.
She needs to do more cocaine about it.
Yeah.
Fuck infected.
Of course. Oh shit. Wait. Can you grab his rifle?
That's what I was just wondering. Now, they were coming down that. Can I go up that?
Maybe.
I can pick up this rifle.
I want to craft some stuff. Oh, you got a second. So
Yeah.
craft some more militaires. Nope. Better nothing.
Yeah.
Also, if you like hold L2 to aim and then R2 to throw, it explodes where you throw it instead of being like proximity.
There's something up here. Thought.
Only infected one? Much like the mighty Turok dinosaur hunter.
He did tech arrows, bro.
I am Turok!
So the shooter must be up top because that's where these guys are running.
Yeah. Hey, let me kill him. Yeah, there he is. See?
Yep. He doesn't seem the least bit concerned.
It's cool. Like, oh no! Ah, my master plan! I'd rather fight infected than humans any day. I feel like the humans are way more dangerous. Why is this girl such a good murderer?
That's it.
I don't know.
If anyone's alive, don't even think about surprising me. You'll end up like your friends, you hear me? Yeah?
There's a lot of stuff in this DLC. Like, I'm constantly picking up equipment and stuff.
It seems like they're giving you options to fight because it's shorter. Instead of just, you know, here's a couple bullets, here's a Shiv. Speaking of Shivs, did you have an interesting Shiv story?
I do. I'll tell it at some point during the playthrough.
Gotcha.
Okay. We ought be clear to go down now.
Go check on Callus. I almost called him Ketchup. If I had a horse, I would name him Ketchup. I don't like horses. Horses are...
Better be alive, Joel.
Found here the door! This way. Ellie!
What about our backpacks?
You want to just keep up with her.
Shit!
Supposed to be a pipe in the door.
The gate, help me lift here.
All right. Find something to prop it up with. I'll hold it. Hurry!
Or just you turn around and hold it and let her under.
Right?
Ellie, they're almost through.
I'm hurrying.
Okay, go.
Don't we not want this propped open?
Let's move.
Where are we going?
She went through that door.
Did she?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it open for me?
Because script.
Get off of me, stupid! They bit me on my neck!
I know, buddy.
I died!
But you're back now.
That guy sounded funny. He was kind of like, ah!
Yeah, I'm right behind you. Keep running.
Ah!
Contaminated.
I don't like his eyes. I always get screwed over with that delay going, wait, what's square? Kick him in his noggin.
Those are pretty generous.
Need a turbo controller.
That's my friend. His name I still can't remember.
Riley.
I was gonna say Wrigley, but that's my sister-in-law's
Also, they make dope gum.
Come on.
And apparently they have a field.
Scaffolding?
Pretty sure
That's
that's
our
what
way
it's
out.
named after.
Yes, there's some kind of sports stadium that's Wrigley.
I've heard of those.
Infected!
Sports?
Oh, they're behind us too.
This way.
S S S S S S S S S
Go, go,
S
go, go!
They're getting closer!
S S S S. What the fuck? Why did it like spin me around?
I think you're supposed to stay with her. Otherwise,
I was trying to jump out that.
Go, go, go!
I was trying to jump out
They're
that
getting closer!
door.
Follow me!
There, that's what I was trying to jump out of when it spun me around. I didn't spin around.
Ellie!
I'm good, just keep going!
There's an open window!
Run, 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 run. I thought it was nighttime while we were out, like sneaking around.
We're almost there!
started at now I guess the morning approaches. Nay, morning encroaches
Yep.
upon the denizens of the night.
Thanks.
Reach up! I got you!
Hold on!
Give me your hand!
Oh, double shit.
Ellie!
Just like Joe. Yeah.
I think it's clear.
Oh, it's all in your mouth. Jesus, name your mom 68.
Ellie, your arm.
I think it's clear.
That really does look like a bite.
Yeah.
No.
God, I can't even imagine the emotions that they would be experiencing in that
Especially at 14, you know?
moment. Yeah.
Like when I was 14, I
worry.
was such a fuckhead.
I've done this before. Kind of an
Dude, I
expert.
was.
Ish.
I think it's a leather sewing needle. At least they have big hooked leather sewing needles. I imagine they do it for... You know what? They probably do it for sutures too, because they have to go like up under and come back over the skin.
There's some more stuff over there you can break.
What are we gonna do?
The way I see it, we got two options. Option one, you take the easy way out. It's quick and painless. I'm not a fan of option one. Two, we fight.
Fight for what? We're gonna turn into one of those things.
There are a million ways we should have died before today. And a million ways we can die before tomorrow. But we fight for every second we get to spend with each other. Whether it's 2 minutes or 2 days. We don't give that up. I don't want to give that up. My vote? Let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together.
What's option 3?
Sorry. Come on. Let's get out of here.
Poor Ellie.
I know.
I see why you didn't suggest playing this first, even though it was. Because I think you told me it was a prequel, and I was like, well, do you think we should play it first?
And I resounding this.
Yeah.
What specifically are you talking about?
Well, just because like when we were playing the main game, it would be like, oh, that's that girl that got bit. Why is she not a? Oh, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's not meant to be viewed chronologically.
Yeah. I feel like things should always be viewed the way they're released, not chronological.
There are a few instances where I suggest chronological.
Such as?
The Shannara series by Terry Brooks
Uh-huh.
is better read chronological than released.
Haven't they been being written for like 30 years though? Am I thinking of something else?
40 years. 41 years.
Jeez. We're going trumpet.
Well, that was very good. I
like
enjoyed that
that.
DLC.
I think now's a good time to tell your Shiv story.
Yes, I will tell my Shiv story. So, I don't know why this never popped into my head when we were playing the original, but my wife was watching some of the uploads of the live stream on YouTube, and she paused it and looked over at me and she said, "Did you tell him your Shiv story?" Because I guess we had just said Shiv, like,
15,000
Yeah.
times.
And I was like, no, I didn't. So, my brother and I were in a gas station at like 11 o'clock at night in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina.
Sneads?
Sneads Ferry.
One word?
Sneads Ferry.
Okay.
I think it's like the possessive tense, like someone named Sneed
This is
and
the
their
ferry
ferry.
of Sneed.
Yeah. And we were on vacation in Topsail Island, which is Sneed's Ferry is how you get to Topsail Island. At least there's multiple ways to get to Topsail Island, multiple points, but the particular intercoastal waterway that we were staying closest to got out on Sneed's Ferry.
Right.
So we're in Sneed's Ferry. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And my wife is like waiting for us in the car. So I'm trying to remember specifics now. This guy is like sort of mumbling to himself. And he walks up next to us. And he was talking the whole way. But the earliest part of his dialogue that I began to hear was he was saying, he was like, "God fucked up, man. God fucked up, giving Prometheus all that power. We're just animals, man. We're just animals." And then he like squared up to us and was like, "Don't fuck with me." And in his hand, he was holding a handmade shiv. And it was...
prison shank, if you will.
Yeah. It was... on like kind of older antique furniture, they'll have those big gaudy like cut glass knobs.
Yeah.
Well, they're hollow in the middle because that's you tighten the screw down and that holds it flush.
Yeah.
He had one of those big glass knobs, and through it he had like it was almost like a coat hanger, and it was like pushed through it and then folded up around it. So like one side went through the bead, the other side came out. And then he had twisted it into this ultra tight, like where a metal coat hanger comes together.
Yeah.
At the top, there's that like
Clearly
rigid
done by a machine.
It had been like twisted like that all the way out, and it was about this long beyond the bead.
Now that is some hobo ingenuity.
Yeah. And then the end of it was like you could tell it had been like scraped on like
a
concrete.
syringe?
Yeah, it went down to like a very sharp point. You know what I mean? So the two pieces were filed in unison until there was like a point on the end. And this was a wicked looking shiv. Like I didn't want it anywhere near me. And it was like 6 inches from my face. And so all I remember is sort of being stunned because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
And then Kanan, my brother, reached down and he picked up a can of Beanie Weenies. Like, never broke eye contact with the guy. He just reached down and picked it up, and he was about to, like, crush this guy's face in with these Beanie Weenies. And about that time, the cashier in this gas station, I guess, noticed what was going on. It was like, hey, Rama! And he turned and, like, pulled away from us and, like, went outside the gas station really quick and ran off. Well, we came back outside, and I went to check on Jessica to make sure she was all right. And she was like...
Your wife.
My wife. And she said that, what did she say? I guess he was behaving really strangely. She watched him walk through the...
front door?
The parking lot. And he came up to the car and was, like, saying something to her through the window. And she was just sort of like, nope. And just kind of looked away, hoping this guy would go
like
away.
5 foot, 105 pounds of her?
Yeah, because... You know, he was like, and she couldn't hear what he was saying, and she was like, that guy looks insane. So she just, you know, and thank God she did, you know?
Right.
But anyways, he went inside, had that thing with us, and then ran off. So when I realized that she was cool, I looked up, and off in the distance, I saw him go into, you know how gas stations are sometimes in the periphery of a shopping center?
Yeah.
Where, you know, the parking lots are sort of connected.
Mm.
He had ran through this parking lot of this shopping center, and I just happened to look up as he was going into this bar. So I was like, okay, he's in there.
That's a good place.
Yeah, I need to call 911.
Yeah.
You know, because this guy's insane.
Yeah.
So, and let me reiterate, you know, he walked up mumbling nonsense and then was like, don't fuck with me. And he had this thing, like he was brandishing it, like at our necks. Like, and if it hadn't been, you know, and I froze, I watched my brother just sort of like, he never took eye contact off the guy, and he just reached out and picked up this can of Beanie Weenies. And anyway, so we called 911, and the police arrived very quickly. So actually, they didn't arrive as quickly as you would think, because I no more than hung up the phone, and a police car was pulling in. And so I walked up to talk to him. The lady didn't know what I was talking about. She hadn't even been dispatched yet.
Oh.
She just happened to be pulling
Yeah.
in. So I explained.
That happens more than you'd think.
So I explained to this police officer, when I realized she's not caught up to speed, I fill her in. And so by that time, other cops start to come. They go get this guy out of the bar. They frisk him. There's nothing on him. Well, they're searching around. After like 30 minutes of searching, they find it. He had like wung it off in the parking lot. So they found this fucking like crazy ass like weapon this guy had made.
The weapon hanger.
They begged us to press charges on him because I guess this particular individual had done stuff like this countless times. But because like Sneed's Ferry and Topsail Island are like tourist locations, like I guess the average person there doesn't actually live there. They're there on vacation.
So they don't want to hang around for
Nobody wants to hang around for court dates or return for court dates and stuff like that. So we finally decided, begrudgingly, because, you know, that same thing applied to us.
Yeah.
But what we finally were saying to each other, because, you know, she was like, you know, you guys have to decide. So we actually, me and my brother Kanan, stepped off and had this conversation independently of anyone else's earshot. And we were saying, like, what if Peg Peg had been in here with us or been in here instead of us?
Your grandma.
Which is our grandmother, who is now passed away. God rest her soul. Love you, miss you, Peg Peg.
She was sweet.
Mm-hmm. But, where was I going with this? Oh, so we're saying to each other, you know, what if it had been Peg Peg or, you know, somebody's Peg Peg?
Yeah.
So we decided to press charges.
Someone who couldn't beanie weenie him in the face.
Yes. So we pressed charges. We were issued a court date. We had to drive all the way back.
Which is what, like a 6-hour drive?
Sure. Back for like an early morning court date, which of course meant that we had to drive in the night before and get a hotel room.
Or get up at like 1 in the morning and drive out there, which that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So he was a no-show for his court date. So I guess then they issued a warrant for his arrest, and they told us, you know, if we catch him, there'll be another court date, and you'll get another summons. Well, that was like 8 years ago, and I've never gotten another summons. So
Has it
I don't
been
know.
that long?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Jeez.
Well, no, probably like 6 or
Still.
7 years ago.
That doesn't seem that long ago.
But either way, either this man is still at large
Be careful.
or has died doing some
heroin
crazy
overdose.
thing, or they somehow figured out a way to, maybe something
they can
else
probably
happened.
get him for being a public menace. No one has to press charges for that. Like the state can press charges for that.
But either way, that's my Shiv story. I don't think I would ever think to make a Shiv that way.
That's what I'm saying. It's perfect hobo ingenuity.
Yeah. But you can imagine how bad that would be to be on the receiving end of that. I mean, it was like a corkscrew
Even
of
if he
metal
just
that
gets
was
you
like
once,
filed.
what
in
kind
the-
of like diseases do you have from
Mhm.
Because for all you know, he's been picking his like MRSA sores with
Oh.
it. And on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast. I hope you had a good time. And we'll be back when The Last of Us 2 comes out.
We will. And when is that supposed to be?
Still no actual release date for it.
But is it supposed to be this year,
Supposed to be-
2018?
Supposed to be 2018. Subject to change as always. I would guess late 2018.
Well, we'll see you whenever that is. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye!
Bye.